Good morning, and welcome back to another episode of the Talk to Trainer Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercises to help make you the absolute best entrepreneur you can be, not only for yourself, but for the people you love and care about most. You become better for not only you, but the people you love and care about most. You gotta be a little uncomfortable and take that leap of faith. You're in control of the process. I'm here with you. If we don't continue to grow, if we don't continue to move on, we will be sad and upset. Good morning, everyone. And today we're going to be talking about building a stronger relationship with you, building a stronger relationship with yourself. This is one of the key core pieces in the relationship section that we've actually been developing and continue to critique for our 6-week course, to help people improve energy, emotional intelligence, and have higher overall well-being to perform better in work and at home with friends and family. We're super excited about the realization that if we can just have a strong relationship with ourselves, then a lot of the other natural stuff tends to follow, the good stuff, such as higher quality relationships with other people, such as staying motivated and focused on the next task that it is that we want to complete. So a variety of these things. And at the end of the day, all we really have is ourselves. Depending on how literal you want to make it, our own experiences based off of how we view ourselves, how we handle ourselves, and how we continue to move forward with ourselves. So without further ado, I want to get into some questions. 3 of my favorite questions from the relationship section. And additionally, I added one bonus one to just kind of throw in to see if that could be a help-provoking question. And if you don't have the ability to write things down right at the moment, feel free to come back to the video, check it out, pause it, do whatever helps you. So question number 1, this is for building relationships with ourselves. Let me go ahead and change my studio light so you can see a little bit better. And I'm going to take it off of center stage. Relationship with self. Question number 1. Am I forgiving myself for past mistakes and allowing myself to move forward and grow? Am I forgiving myself for past mistakes and allowing myself to move forward and grow? I think it can be very easy to not want to do something again when we feel like we didn't do it right the first time. Humans have this incredible ability to avoid things we're bad at and to be attracted to things we're good at. But it takes time and practice to get good at anything. So sometimes I know myself, for me, my biggest hiccup is like reaching out to people, trying to get new clients for my business. That's like one of the tough things. Getting rejected for me doesn't feel good, like for most people. And forgiving myself for maybe how I said things or how I went about things in the past. I need to make sure that I am forgiving that part of myself so I am ready to move forward with the next thing and not be too critical on myself for not understanding truly how it is the perfect way to go about it. Have this conversation with my family a lot, like perfect's just not real. And it's okay to not be very good at things, but to dwell and to beat ourselves up and to damage that relationship with ourselves is only going to diminish our ability to be motivated and our ability to go actually do what it is that we want to do today. So maybe that's one of the things that we need to start off with is today, this morning, we forgive ourselves for things that we screwed up. Forgive ourselves for things that we kind of sucked at and kind of almost give a smile to it. Maybe a little bit of a laugh like, oh, wow, I handled that pretty poorly. I should maybe go about it this way. Or it's like, oh, wow, I'm super glad that I even tried it because now I know what it is I actually want out of it. And it's incredible how action and doing is such a powerful teacher. And then we need to be able to be in the right light to where we're not just berating ourselves and we are allowing ourselves to move forward and grow. Question number 2, am I practicing gratitude and acknowledging my strengths and accomplishments? I think I never did this, and I believe a lot of people don't take the time to do this either because of life being super fast paced. Everything's moving 100 miles an hour. I get that. But we really need to take the time to practice what are 3 things that you're grateful for today? What are 3 things that you're grateful for today? Or I remember my mom saying this to me the other day when we were chatting, having a nice conversation about personal development. And it's like if you only had what you were grateful for yesterday, what would you have? I can't remember how she said it, but either way, if we only had what we were grateful for yesterday, and if you don't practice gratitude, chances are you'd probably have nothing. Imagine if you couldn't, we call this in coaching, it's called like mental subtraction. Mental subtraction is where you just like eliminate something that is in your life currently and how dramatically that would change your life if that wasn't present. Imagine if you couldn't drive a car. Imagine if you couldn't walk, you couldn't ride a bike, you couldn't speak, you couldn't talk to the people you want to talk to today. Imagine if you couldn't hear somebody. This is the daily lives of thousands, if not millions of people with these types of disabilities and disadvantages. So it's like, man, if we just took the time to maybe say like 3 things I'm grateful for and we were better at practicing gratitude, it'd be a lot harder for us to get pissed off and frustrated at these tiny little things and details that just genuinely don't matter. If someone says something and it's like, oh, it doesn't resonate with me, and that's okay because everyone comes up in different ways and has different interpretations and opinions, and that's okay. Next on is the accomplishments section. It's okay to look back over the last year and be like, holy crap, I have grown so much. I know personally, I have grown 1,000x, like from emotional intelligence standpoints, like, holy crap, I feel really excited about what it is I do. I'm really focused on helping people and I'm not so focused on myself. I know this section is about building a relationship with yourself, but we can do that by seeing the actions that we've done over the last time frame. And sometimes it's so easy to get scoped in on these tiny little things that happen throughout our day that they ruin the rest of our day. And I think that's more of like a defense mechanism for survival because you just want to, humans, like, we're just designed to avoid the things that are bad or what we perceive bad, even though we know deep down that this little instant in time is nothing compared to the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years of my life. What were you doing 5 years ago? How did you view things? How did you communicate? And now who are you today? It's like, dang, I've done this. I've traveled across the country, started some companies. I've never been this close with my family before. I've never been this close with a girlfriend and treated somebody with so much respect and kindness and love. It's like, damn, like this shit's going well. If we just take the time to reflect and to think about it, I think that can help with building that relationship with ourselves. So, not being scared of looking over your strengths. What are you good at? Let's go do some of that. Or vice versa. How am I practicing gratitude? On to the next question. Am I being kind and compassionate towards myself, or am I too critical and harsh? Or am I too critical and harsh? This one's tough, right? Because you want to be a better you, and you need to reflect and you need to critique. But if we can be more of the observer, they talk about this in Buddhism all the time, being the observer. So picture another version of Tanner on looking back at me and kind of being an observer to what it is really going on and be like, okay, how is he handling the day? What is he taking action on? Who is he communicating with? What is he practicing? And is he being too hard on himself? And I think if we just kind of maybe take a best friend approach, maybe you pretend it's your best friend sitting there and looking back on what it is you're doing, maybe that can give you a little bit of a better answer of when you're being too harsh on yourself and when you're not. Because you don't want to push yourself to the point that you break, but you got to have something to where it's challenging you so you actually get a little uncomfortable and build those muscles for the action that you're taking. So you want to be somewhere in between for growth, uncomfortability, not too far on the seesaw, but not too close like we're taking tiny baby steps. We want to feel like we're challenged and we want to feel like we're accomplishing something. I think that is very, very important. So when we figure this landscape out, and then we're able to figure out what that is for me, what would be an example? Maybe you read one chapter of one book today. Maybe you just say no to junk food today. No junk food. I'm not eating that crap. I don't want it. I don't need it. I can go 2 days without it and I can wait until the weekend. Or maybe I'm going to make 10 sales calls today because I haven't called anybody this week. So what it is that I can do. And then when we do it or don't do it, not berating or kicking the crap out of ourselves to try and help strengthen that relationship. I think we all want some confidence and we all want some confirmation that we are doing the right things. So if we can confirm with ourselves that this is what I want to do, and this is how I want to go about it. And I'm going to enjoy it as much as I possibly can. If we can enjoy the things that we're doing today, and then we cannot berate ourselves, man, imagine being kind and compassionate to yourself all the time. Do you think life would be more fun? Do you think life would be a little bit better if we were nicer to ourselves? Why do you think it's so important that they're like, oh, be nice to people, be nice to people? Or when someone is nice to you, how good does that feel? But it's like when it comes to ourselves, we just throw that crap out the window. It's like, where's the logic in that? I do it all the time. I talk about these points because I need to get better at these too. So I hope it doesn't come off as like, oh, I'm nice to myself all the time. Definitely not. And it's okay to be hard on yourself, to want to develop and grow. But just, man, be really careful of berating yourself, just coming down with the hammer. Like, you should have done that right. You could have said that better. They think you're a weirdo. Like, a little bit on taking it easy on the self-talk and building a stronger relationship with yourself through kindness and compassion for yourself. And lastly, voila, we're to the last point. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for tuning in with us this morning. And our last question for the bonus is, do I prioritize self-care and self-love in my daily routine? So at the end of the day, building a strong relationship with yourself comes down to these two things: self-care and self-love. And you need to ask yourself, am I willing to do this? When am I willing to do this? How will I do this? We have to have the clarity set out. So it's so much easier to take action where it's like, man, I'm not really sure how to go about that. And there's a number of ways that whether we've talked about past on the show, maybe to list off a couple. Journaling is a great way. Puking your thoughts out on what's going on in your life into a notebook or onto pieces of paper. Beautiful exercise. One of the smartest things that humans have ever done. Journaling, great thing. Maybe you just want to be writing in a book or something like that. Or maybe you want to go out for a walk and you just want to listen to the birds and you want to get your muscles flowing, feel the blood in your legs, the blood moving through your body. Maybe you want to just slow down when you eat and really be grateful for the fact that you have food to eat. I didn't know if you knew this, but 3 million children every single year starve to death, unfortunately, across the world. And the fact that we have food and we have abundant resources is absolutely insane. Like, there's never been a world like this ever in the history of ever. So, but it's easy to forget that, right? With all the good stuff going on, with all the bad stuff going on, with all the good stuff going on, it's hard to keep it straight. But whatever way you got to go about it, if you're not doing it, do it before you look at your cell phone. I meditate. I say things I'm grateful for. I do all of this before I look at my cell phone and I get in the rambunctious go of work. That's very helpful for me. And my girlfriend and I were talking about this other day, how if you just take a moment right when you wake up in the morning, you just acknowledge that you're alive, that you have the most precious gift that has ever been created in the history of our planet, human consciousness. The fact that you have this shit is so nuts. and so awesome that it's like, wow, I'm awake right now. Holy crap, I woke up again. Because you're not going to, in like 100 years, you're just going to be dead. So you're just not going to wake up. So just maybe giving awareness to that, maybe that can be a way of self-care, raising our level of awareness, or just practicing self-love. Like what's one thing you love about yourself? What's one thing? And don't give me that humble answer of, it's, I'm pretty modest at everything. It's like, no, say something that you love about yourself. Do you love the fact that you have a good job? Do you love the fact that you have a good relationship with your family? Do you love the fact that you're really into fitness? Do you love the fact that you've picked up new hobbies that you find really enjoyable? Do you love the fact that you just dove into a business idea that you love? What is one thing that you love about yourself? And don't be scared to be confident and cocky with this stuff, because confidence and this type of stuff really helps increase that relationship with yourself. So those were the questions for my video editor. I guess let's go ahead and run through them one more time. So this episode was on how to build a stronger relationship with yourself. Question number 1, am I forgiving myself for past mistakes and allowing myself to move forward and grow? Permission is key. Number 2, am I practicing gratitude and acknowledging my strengths and accomplishments? Got to acknowledge the accomplishments. What have you done over the last couple of years? Number 3, am I being kind and compassionate towards myself, or am I too critical and harsh? Let's try to avoid being too critical and harsh today on ourselves. And the bonus question, do I prioritize self-care and self-love in my daily routine? Do I need to do it in the mornings? Do I need to do it in the evenings? When can I get this in? Priority number 1. Because that relationship with ourselves, right? It's all we really got. So you might as well enjoy it, because you're stuck with you. I'm here to say, yeah, like I got Tanner for the rest of my days, and that's all I got. So might as well treat it with care and respect. If you only had one thing, if you could never be given something else and you only get this one thing for the rest of your life, it's like, I should probably take care of that. I probably should. That makes a lot of sense. I hope this episode was helpful. Prioritizing self-care, self-love, damn it, and building that relationship with yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself today. Have an amazing, incredible Thursday. Enjoy it. Do something kind for somebody. Get out in the sunshine, smile, laugh, do some loving. It's the absolute best. Thanks for checking out our content. If you want to learn more about investing in yourselves and working with me and our company personally, we offer a 6-week Total Life Mastery Bootcamp where we go over the most important topics to make sure that our life has the foundation we need to catapult us forward, to take the right and proper actions, to become happier and more productive, guaranteed, or our money back.